Hi, my name's Jason. I watched Money in the Bank last night and caught a really bad case of butthurt after seeing John Cena win for the 15th time the WWE Championship. I felt horrible. Butthurt was really, really bad. So I went to the doctor this morning. I was like, Doctor, what can I do for all this butthurt? And he said, Son, watch Monday Night Raw and apply a tube of this stuff to your butt hurt while watching the show. I didn't understand, but I was like, all right, gotta trust the doctor. So I watched Monday Night Raw and applied a lot of this to my butt hurt. I feel great now. Thanks, WWE. Welcome back, everyone. This is Jason. New setup. What do you think? A little more cozy over here. So yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about the pay-per-view Money in the Bank and about Monday Night Raw tonight. Both shows were great. Don't get me wrong. I love the pay-per-view. Ton of action. I wasn't correct on some of the predictions I made, but hey, that's all right. New champion, John Cena, for the 15th time. Wasn't happy about that, but it was a good match though. I mean, everybody you really had that feeling like anybody could get it. Unfortunately, the day beforehand, it was spoiled by when they released the SummerSlam DVD cover that had John Cena and Brock Lesnar on the cover. Hoping that this was leaked, I think fans either hoped that it was fake or that seeing that it was leaked to the public, maybe WWE would throw a wrench in it and change it, surprise the fans. Well, that didn't happen. But nonetheless, it was a great show. Seth Rollins won the briefcase in the ladder match. That, in my opinion, the briefcase match was the highlight of the night. Just an insane amount of spots, high spots in that match. Too many to talk about. Just, you got to go order the network and go see the pay-per-view. Top to bottom, it was a decent pay-per-view. Yeah, there were some filler matches thrown in there. I'm not even going to get into those. But overall, the card itself was okay. But the ladder matches made up for it. If you weren't satisfied with some of the other filler matches, like, okay, the Fandango as ref was, it was lame, but this whole thing with Layla and Summer Rae, you thought it was going to be over at the pay-per-view. Apparently it's not, because tonight on Raw, now Dolph Ziggler is in the mix. And, yeah, we're going to see that for the next month, this whole new rivalry of Dolph Ziggler and Fandango, and the chicks are going to be in the middle of it. Because, yeah, Summer Rae planted a hot, wet one on Ziggy tonight. So, yeah, that was funny. Quite entertaining. And I like both those guys, so I'm actually going to like this feud. I'm going to like it a lot more than, say, Fandango and Santino Marella. Yeah, this is going to be a lot better, because Dolph Ziggler is a hell of a talent. We also learned tonight the main event for the next pay-per-view, which is Battleground. It's going to be a four-way between Cena, Kane, Orton, and Roman Reigns. And of course, looming behind that match is the fact that Seth Rollins can cash this in at any time, with the exception that Dean Ambrose is going to be like a hemorrhoid on Rollins' ass, and every time he tries to cash it in, he's going to be right there behind him. And we saw that tonight on Monday Night Raw. Just when Kane gave Cena a tombstone and looked like he was out cold. Even had the medical technicians get in the ring and check him, lift his arm. Nope, he was out. Don't even know if he was breathing. No, he was breathing. But, Triple H is like, come on down, Seth, cash it in. Nope. One unsuccessful attempt there by Seth. So Seth is 0-1 on cash-ins so far. And the last show of the night, or scene of the night, showed Reigns facing off in the ring with Triple H. And that was a tad bit awkward because Triple H was standing there holding the briefcase. Well, it was the boss holding the briefcase, but it was the wrong guy holding the briefcase, in my opinion. But nonetheless, I think it's foreshadowing Triple H versus Roman Reigns down the road. So, that little bit of aftermath from the Shield versus Evolution is still going on. And that's okay. That was an incredible feud. It ended in, Seth Rollins turning on the Shield, which ended up in breaking up the Shield. But nonetheless, the rivalries coming out of it are still, bar none, going to make an incredible summer of wrestling. Guaranteed. A lot of returns tonight. Some really not worth mentioning, but I'm going to mention them just because, they were, some surprises and some not so great, some incredible. I'll start with the least important part. We saw the return of Vincent Kennedy McMandow. No, it was actually Damian Sandow. Doing his cocky strut just like Vinnie Mac, and a pretty good impression, I might say. It was hilarious. He dyed his hair, came out with a strut and a suit, and talked about people being fired, and it was priceless. It was really funny. Some people don't like this whole gimmick that Damian Sandow comes out as a different character every week. Well, you know what? At least it looks like he's having fun, and at least he's being used. It could have been like, could be like Zack Ryder, who is completely non-existent now on television. At least Sandow's being used. Yeah, he's being forced to eat, shovel amounts of crap every week. So yeah, some people like it, some people don't. I think it's okay. It could be a lot worse. Like I said, at least they're using him. It looks like he's having fun. He could be just gone. So it is what it is. Sandow's taking it and running with it. And I think he's doing an okay job with it, for what it's worth. So, yeah, Great Khali came out and just crushed him in like a 5-second match. One shot, boom, done, 1, 2, 3, pinned him. And, which I don't understand why the Great Khali is still around. I really don't. It's not trying to sound racist or anything. I just think that the Great Khali is one big useless giant. You want to see a great example of a giant that's being well used and can actually move in the ring and work well is the Wyatt family. Rowan and Harper, some really big guys, and they can frickin' move and wrestle decent and cut decent promos too. Khali can barely walk down to the ring, has one move, the chop, and can't even speak a lick of English. I don't think him sticking around is going to help their international market that much. I don't know how long he's going to be around. I think his time is up, honestly. What do you think about it? I'm getting real sick of seeing Khali around. But nonetheless, he's back. Next, and this was rumored earlier today, we saw the limo show up, and the Miz came back. And it seemed like he was, getting rumored to be coming back with Ric Flair. I don't know if Ric Flair's passed all his medical stuff yet. There were some rumors that he was going into rehab for a while and cleaning up before he came back, but we'll see. I hope they don't put Ric Flair with The Miz. They had him there before, but now Miz has come back, looks like full-blown heel, as in the mistreated Hollywood, starlet. Looked like a pimp when he came back, not going to lie. He was pimping. And out of nowhere, Y2J, Chris Jericho came back. That one made me jump off my couch. I don't think... I watched the show late, so if something was leaked this afternoon, I didn't see it. I don't think anyone knew it, as far as I know. I haven't heard anyone say, oh, yeah, we knew about that ahead of time. I think that was a good surprise by the WWE, at least it was for me. And then I read an article saying how long he's expected to stick around, barring he stays healthy and everything, and they put him in some decent rivalries. Looks like he's going to stick around for about 3 months till September, till was that Night of Champions, I believe. And upon his return, and embarrassing The Miz, then all of a sudden the lights went out and the Wyatts showed up and just killed Y2J. So this is really cool, and it makes a lot of sense, because if you watched Bray Wyatt in NXT, one of his last matches in NXT was against Chris Jericho, and it was a damn good match. If you have not seen it, go back. Oh man, how long ago was that? Last summer, last fall, I think, possibly. Yeah, could be. Yeah, go check it out. Decent match, Chris Jericho versus Bray Wyatt, and now we get to see it on a much bigger scale. So I can't wait to see that. Bray Wyatt's priceless on the mic, and I think he needs to be in the ring more often. It seems like he's getting saved for bigger shows, or just wrestling with his, compadres, the Wyatt family, the brothers, Harper and Rowan. I think he should have more solo matches, honestly. He's great, but he really needs to show that off. Right now, I think he's, you want to rank him as a wrestler, he's got better numbers as a mic guy than a wrestler. But I think he's great at both, because I've been watching him for the last couple of years, even in FCW. And, he was great when he was in, the first season of NXT, second season, whatever it was. He just didn't have the right gimmick. Now he does. Now he's priceless. So, yeah, Bray Wyatt and Y2J going forward over the course of the next month till the next pay-per-view. Cannot wait to see that match. I'm hoping it's a clean match. I mean, yeah, the Wyatts have a lot of matches where Harper and Rowan, get involved and wreck it for whoever, but I got a feeling this is going to be a really good match. Hopefully a clean match. And I don't care who wins. It's just going to be a damn good match. Oh, what else? We saw a big turn tonight. Another return tonight, out of nowhere, was AJ Lee returned and interrupted Paige. And, if you go on YouTube and you go check out the interview that Paige had and a couple of her last ones, like the backstage Fallout ones, because she doesn't do a lot of in-ring mic time. It's all backstage stuff. If you watch these interviews closely, and I said this, I commented on the Money in the Bank Fallout video that she was in, her backstage interview. I commented that she's riding that fine line of of, good versus evil. She's great in the ring, no doubt one of the best women's wrestlers there is around today. She's using stuff that I haven't seen used ever, and it's fresh and it's exciting to see great women's wrestling. It's classic and it's not done enough. It really isn't. But hopefully, with this new crop of wrestlers coming up in NXT, we'll see a lot more, especially with Charlotte and who else? Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, all those. But yeah, Paige in these interviews, she's British. So when she speaks, she comes off as sounding sassy nonetheless. At least it does to Americans. Some Americans. It does for me. I think she sounds sassy as hell. It's hilarious. So that right there makes her sound like a bad guy, a heel. Now, throw on top of that her roar in the ring. That just adds to it. Well, tonight she was talking in the ring. It was like, okay, well, they're going to be setting up a new rivalry for her for the next pay-per-view for this next month. Who's it going to be? Well, out of nowhere comes AJ Lee. AJ Lee is back in the WWE, folks. That was quite refreshing to see. And, with all the excitement of the comebacks and surprises, Khali, Y2J, The Miz, all that, it's like, well, AJ Lee's back. Did a certain new husband of hers come back too? Huh? No, he's not around. But that's the only thing I'm going to say about it. Because some people are just really sick of it, but whatever. So AJ Lee came back and basically did to Paige what Paige did to AJ Lee the night after WrestleMania. Challenged her to a match, and we have a new Divas champion as of tonight, Monday Night Raw. AJ Lee is Divas champ again. And I think from the crowd reaction, I think the roles are really going to be reversed. I think AJ Lee is going to be the new fan favorite, and Paige is going to flip a switch and go nasty psycho on her. On everyone, for that matter. Because all it took was that little push, and bam, she can do it. I'm positive she can. Even being a fan favorite, I think she'll make a better heel than a face, by all means. Another switch we saw tonight, Rusev came out with Lana. They're doing a promo, and, Rusev has just been clobbering everyone lately. Even his match with Big E was pretty good. That rivalry was decent. I liked it. Big E got clobbered all the times he faced him, but it was good nonetheless. Rusev is just a monster. He really is. It reminds me of a new version of. The character itself is Russian, so it reminds me of the burly Russians that we saw back in the 80s. Now you mix that with brutal style of, say, like an ECW Taz or Tazmaniac or whatever you want to call him. That's what it reminds me of. So yeah, I love Rusev, and Lana's a great addition to him. Sassy, Russian valet. And out comes Zeb and his boy, Jack Swagger. Suffering succotash. It's a faith turn. Yeah. And, wow. Did he get a pop when he came out? It's funny. You put the right person in the ring and have someone else come out unexpected, and just from the crowd reaction, and it just, boom, switches just like that. So, and to see Swagger get cheered, I honestly cannot remember the last time I've seen Swagger cheered. Now, on the other hand, if you've watched his matches, no matter where he's at, no matter who he's wrestling, whether it was, with Cesaro or against him or whoever, when Zeb's doing his thing in the ring and then tries to get the crowd to, say along with him, put your hand over your heart and we the people, man, that crowd is loud and proud. And I'll give the WWE writers some credit for a no-brainer for doing it. It was smart. It's smart. It really is, to put, the all-American American against Rusev. And yet, Jack Swagger's gotten in trouble before, kind of pulling a Randy Orton. Obviously, not as bad, because Randy Orton got busted how many times with, drugs and whatever. I think he had 3 strikes, 2 or 3, whatever it was. Swagger, I believe, had 1. And Rusev's been, Swagger's been doing good with Zeb. He really has, he's, and not to knock Swagger, but yeah, he does need that guy behind the mic. He does need a manager. And him and Zeb have been a great combo since it started. And now to see these guys get cheered in the ring against the nasty Russian, it's going into the summer. It's going to be an exciting switch for Swagger to see him, really get over with the crowd. He's a talented wrestler. Don't get me wrong. He's great. Since he started, I always thought of him as like a younger Kurt Angle style. So yeah, the talent is there, but man, yeah, don't give him a microphone, please. So we're going to see Jack Swagger versus Rusev in the next up-and-coming month. Some bad news coming out of last night's show. Daniel Bryan was on a pre-show at the pay-per-view Money in the Bank, and he's out indefinitely. They didn't say indefinitely, but when you say you don't know when you're coming back and there's no timetable for your comeback, and it sounds like he may need another surgery, yeah, guys, he may not come back, and I'd rather go into this thinking he's not going to come back, so that when he does come back, I'm excited about it. It's sad. He's a hell of a wrestler, a great entertainer. And it was proven last night and tonight that he's still over with the crowd. They love him. They really do. They'll chant yeses for anything, no matter who's in the ring, whoever they support, they'll throw some yeses their way. So yeah, Daniel Bryan's out indefinitely. We have no clue when he's coming back. So yeah, I hope he does come back, but if it takes a year for him to come back and get the strength back and another surgery or something to get whatever neck, muscle, nerve, whatever damage fixed, I just hope they don't rush him. I really hope they, give him the time he needs, unlike some other wrestlers they didn't do with. Hint, hint. And another one that's going to be out for several months, it sounds like, is Bad News Barrett. Oh my God, I almost said Swagger again. Yeah, good old Bad News Barrett. Just starting to get that decent push and have his character, over with the crowd. And, it's kind of like they love to hate him, but they're reacting to it. They really are. Some love it, some hate it. But nonetheless, he's getting a good reaction either way when he comes out. And now he's gone again. It's a shame. It really is. So, maybe he'll come back. If I had to guess off the top of my head, maybe Royal Rumble, if we're lucky. maybe. Who knows? Oh, what else? Yeah, back to back, both those shows, the pay-per-view and tonight's Monday Night Raw. Great combo, really, really good back-to-back shows. Can't say enough about them. The Usos are still tag team champs, and that was another one I screwed up on my predictions. I think a lot of people thought the Wyatts were going to get it. Now, it looks like the rivalry is still going on. I think we're eventually going to see the Wyatts take him. Because, the Usos are great. They really are. Unfortunately, they've been around so long now that they're finally tag champs. It's, I don't know, is it me or is it just not as exciting as it should be? They need to get them talking more, I think. Some of the interviews just, I don't know. They need to get, they're fired up on the way to the ring, but they need to cut more promos too. They need to do something. I don't know what it is. I still love them. They're a great tag team, but they need to do something, change something. I hope they don't split them up, but it's inevitable sometimes WWE to force a change or something, they'll split up the Usos. But this is one team. I hope they don't. So that's about it. That's my thoughts on Money in the Bank and tonight's show. Battleground is July 20th, and we've got some matches already in the bank. We've got like I said at the top of this video, we got the four-way that's going to happen for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Reigns, Orton, Kane, and Cena. That's going to be great. And with Wade Barrett being out, the Intercontinental Championship is going to be up for grabs at the next pay-per-view. It's going to be a battle royal, and so far the names that have been talked about it were Kali, Sandow, and I'm totally forgetting the other two that were announced for it. I'll do it in my next vid. Sorry. But nonetheless, that'll be cool. Cesaro. Cesaro's going to be in it. Paul Heyman announced that. And now I'm forgetting the last guy. But I know Cesaro's in it, so I'm forgetting one. But nonetheless, it's going to be a good battle royal at the pay-per-view. We don't see those too much. Seeing as it was a battle royal and Cesaro was the first one announced, yeah, there's a good chance he's going to get that. But I'll do a prediction video in a few weeks, somewhere down the road. So, all right, so that's going to wrap it up. That's everything. Thanks for watching, guys. What did you think of Money in the Bank? And what do you think about all the surprise comebacks from Monday Night Raw? Put them in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Good night.